Hey everyone, it's Shay on the mic. We're going beyond politics. Hope you're psyched. Not just policies, not just plans. We're talking dreams, hobbies, and life's other strands. We'll meet the leaders behind the scenes, uncover the stories in between, the laughs, the quirks, the passions they hide, their personal moments, unfiltered and wide. Ready or not, let's get underway. This is Beyond Politics with Shay. Hi, you're back with another episode of Beyond Politics with Shay, exclusively sponsored by the Oz Arab Media Team. Today we have Bilal El-Hayek join us for another episode. For those of you that know him already, Bilal is the Mayor of Canterbury Bankstown, home turf for the Oz Arab Media Team. Bilal was born in Lebanon and after arriving in Australia in 1999, started his efforts in supporting and mentoring youth in the local area. Behind his passion for martial arts lies a bigger fight for his people, and this spark is what helped move and push him into local council and then the mayor position.
Good to be here. Thank you for having me on your
Bilal.
show.
Beat me to it. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for having me on the show. It is absolutely brilliant to be here on home turf in Canterbury Bankstown with the Oz Arab Media Team. Thank you, Shay, of course.
Amazing. Look, let me get you off your feet. I know you've thanked me. We went through that. Let's get you on the icebreaker questions.
Sure.
Starting with the first question. What's one thing that people don't know about you?
Well, not a lot of people don't know that I did martial arts as a kid. When I was a kid, I did a lot of martial arts. Back when I was in Lebanon, I won national championships in Lebanon as a kid. Got belted many times as well. Yeah, that's one thing a lot of people don't know about me as a martial artist.
Definitely that passion for martial arts. You brought that here, helped spark that passion and support for youth in the area.
Yeah.
What's a common compliment now you receive?
Oh, look, one compliment I receive all the time, I mean, nothing to do with martial arts, but maybe...
I hope not.
Yeah, is that I'm honest with people. I never tell a lie. If I can help you, I'm happy to help you. If I can't help you, I tell you I can't help you. And I find that even in politics, when you don't lie to people down the track, people find out if you've lied or not. So there's no need to lie on the short term.
Words of wisdom.
People will catch you up. It will catch up with you later on. And as a matter of fact, I'll tell you a bit of a story. When someone who's a politician said to me that one day, he goes, "You're going to struggle in politics." And I said, "Why? What makes you say that?" He said, "Your problem is you're too honest." At that time, I took that as a compliment. But in the back of my head, I go, if people think I'm honest, I'm honoured to be honest. That's what you want to be known for.
Definitely. Look, we're getting deeper into who you are, your personality, which is the reason and motivation behind this show or video podcast. So next question now. We've gotten an insight into your personality, your outlook on politics, creativity. If you could introduce a feature to an iPhone or an Android, what would that be and why?
Oh, God. Well, since I've spoken about honesty, maybe a lie detector. Where you just, as soon as you hold it, if some person is lying to you or not.
I think that's the second time I've had this on Beyond Politics.
There you go.
So would it be on the phone?
On the phone. On the phone, we know if people are telling you the truth or not. In our jobs, there's a lot of people around us that don't necessarily tell the truth or they twist the truth. So it'll be good to know if people are telling the truth or not straight through the phone.
Definitely.
How good would that be?
So I'm not sure how that would work within the workplace, but maybe in some of those council meetings,
yeah, that's right.
Campaigns.
Or even messages, lie detector to see your messages, if you're lying in messages or Like
Is that a loaded message?
just tell the truth all the time.
Now, that's a great motto to have, and we'll get to some of your mantras or life advice for others as well later on. Let's look at your childhood. You touched on it a little bit earlier. Grew up in Lebanon.
Yeah.
Raised or, had that Bankstown culture growing up.
Yeah.
Share with us your childhood and your journey into politics.
Yeah. So I was born in Lebanon. I went to local schools in Lebanon. And decided to come to Australia with my parents, of course. And my story is similar to a lot of people that migrated from Lebanon or other countries. Because my parents can no longer, my brother had to go to school and uni, and my sister had to go to uni. And there were private unis, and my father was no longer able to afford because I was coming through, my sisters were coming through, and we had Australian passports then. And my dad made the decision, and my mum, of course, made the decision that in 1999 it was time to move to Australia to get a better education. That's a story that I hear it all the time from a lot of parents, a lot of people that migrated from overseas for the same reason, better education and safety. So I got here in 1999. I went to English school. I went to study how to speak, how to write, how to read. As you know, in Lebanon, I did English. I wasn't the smartest.
But it helped.
It helped a little bit.
A little bit.
And you do French as well in Lebanon. That didn't help at all. But, you come here, you go to English school, and you learn. I was there for about 6 to 9 months from memory, traveling every day to Beverly Hills English Intensive Centre. And then I went to Punchbowl Boys High School. I remember my dad took me there for a day. Didn't like it because you're out. And then I went to Belmore Boys High School for in Year 9. And then from there, I went to Australian International Academy, Strathfield, Condell Park in Strathfield. Went to TAFE, like life takes you in many mysterious ways. I got in politics.
What was your outlook, just to jump in there, so young coming to Australia, having so many opportunities open to you, but also willingly saying yes to them? Talk to me a little bit about how you navigated those pathways in education so young.
Yeah, look, it wasn't easy, right? I didn't, even after you learn the language, you still needed a lot of, support in managing a lot of things in Australia, because you come to a completely different country. And you just got to learn the systems, you got to have new mates, you got to have new friends, and so on and so forth. It wasn't easy to transition into Australia, but we did it.
And you were committed.
Oh, absolutely committed, dedicated. I knew what I wanted to achieve in life all along. Since I was a kid, since I was at school, to be honest, my teachers at school instilled in me community and youth work. So they would do a lot of community things with us at school. And that's how it all started, kind of. And, I did some charity work. And then from there, all I've ever done is work in youth and charity, right? That's all what I've ever done in my life here in Australia. But you look at it now in hindsight and you go, man, we're very blessed to live in the best country in the world. And if it wasn't for that decision my parents made because of my brother and sister, and because they can no longer afford uni in Lebanon, hold on, we're going to go to Australia. I'll never be where I am today.
So were you one of the youngest in your family?
No. I'm a third youngest.
Third youngest.
Yeah, 7 siblings.
So now you've spoken to us about the education, the change of mindset, politics.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Oh, look, I get asked this question all the time. I don't know. The answer is really I don't know. I got involved, I remember, during the elections in 2013. I was helping out on election day, one of the federal politicians, and then handing out on, these people that hand out on how to vote on the door. And from there, he said to me, "You're pretty good at politics. You connect with people well. Why don't you join the Labor Party?" In which I did. And I started going to meetings and so on and so forth. I had no idea about politics. I had no clue what's going on. But I just started to get to know people. One thing led to the other, and obviously joined the Labor Party, but got elected on council in 2017. Then got elected deputy mayor a couple of times after that. And now 2 years ago, I was honoured and privileged to be able to be elected as the mayor of one of the largest cities in the country.
And I was at that meeting, by the way.
Oh,
congratulations again.
Thank you.
Huge testament to you and obviously to your approach to politics, which we can attest to here at the Oz Arab Media team, but I'm sure your networks as well would do the same.
Oh, thank you.
Segue now. A passion or a talent? What is one passion or talent that you harbour that would surprise people if they knew about you?
Ooh, surprise people. It's a hard. I would have said community. I'm very passionate about.
See, but that's not a surprise.
It's not a surprise.
Maybe a passion. So, talented in terms of community work, youth work, martial arts. What's a passion?
Oh, a passion? Geez, you got me. You got me
You can
here.
take that on notice. We'll come back to it.
I think we should, yes.
All right, let's jump into the policy-related questions.
Yeah.
So these are your views on a policy area that we have identified would be really, really, really important for our viewers to get to better understand. Let's talk into entrepreneurs and startups in Sydney's West and that founder-focused mindset that we find around the area all the time.
Yep.
Now, Bilal, as part of the community work and as mayor, you've opened direct access to chambers of commerce and key business players.
Yep.
What does that mean for a 19 or a 25-year-old with a killer idea but with no business background?
So at council, we have a business, department to help and support businesses. Also, we will obviously work very closely with the Canterbury Bankstown Chamber of Commerce. For young people out there that are 19 or 20, have a cracker idea, right? And you want to make it happen. Don't let anyone get in your way, because if you let anyone or anything get in the way, it will never happen. And if you don't take any risk, you'll never achieve what you want. I mean, especially in business, you have to take risks sometimes. And I'm not saying massive risk, but you have to take a risk. So please get involved in the Chamber of Commerce, get involved with council. At council, I've just launched about a few months ago, and we have our first event very shortly, an event to support startups. It's called the Merrill Startup event, where we'll bring together the last 6 months of new businesses that have just started up in the local Canterbury Bankstown area and try to get them to network with other businesses, talk to other businesses, try to give them advice. We'll get motivational speakers. We'll get speakers in general to give them advice on how to run a business. I mean, I'm not a businessman, but we've just started that, and the next event will happen in the next couple of weeks or so. So get involved, get involved in those opportunities. Ask the questions. There's no such thing as a silly question or just ask the question. If we're able to connect with the right people, we'll do that.
Taking a step back now, the value of a chamber of commerce or a network. Share with us your view on why that's so important. We see a lot of the CBCC events here. We hope obviously share that with our viewers. To a younger generation, what value is there for them?
Absolutely, so important. Networking is, I reckon, one of the most important.
You hear it all the time. Network.
The more people you know, the easier for you to do business. I mean, if it was up to me, I don't get involved in council's operational matters, but if I had a business and, for example, you've applied for a job, if I had met you before and we had that chat and we had that conversation and you scored 90% and someone else scored 90%, I think I'll be more inclined to giving you the job.
And that's with every person.
Correct.
It's just that natural connection.
Correct. That's someone who I've known. Oh, I remember you. I've known you. I've worked with you. you're good at what you do. I've followed some of the things you've done. So networking is so important, getting to know other businesses that will support your business, and exchanging, professional, ideas.
Yes.
It is absolutely important, so important to network, to get involved. I encourage young people people in general, but young people specifically, to get involved in whether it's a Chamber of Commerce or Council's business directory.
And the reason why we've here at Oz Arab want to share that more with our younger viewers is because a lot of these founders have such a solo journey now online, and a lot of it is about establishing that authentic, credible self and brand with people that you haven't met.
That's right.
And from what you've said, what better way to establish that with a network?
Correct. Look, it's important to have that personal touch to a lot of things that you do. And this personal touch comes from networking. No matter how much you do on social media, and I know social media these days is the life, but once you have a personal connection, or someone personally, it's a completely different ballgame than just hearing about it on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or whatever it might be. So I highly recommend that people do network as much as possible, because it will help your business, you'll help other businesses, and you get to know a lot of people that will open the way you think. It'll widen that lens a lot more, rather than just being so narrow-minded.
Thank you. So Canterbury Bankstown has made available a new content production studio.
Yeah.
Studio Ventures.
Studio Ventures, yeah.
We're really excited about it. How can founders and business owners take advantage of this new studio venture and ensure that they're working with the right people in this next step?
So at Council, we've recently decided to open Studio Ventures. It's a really state-of-the-art studio to support local businesses and organisations, in terms of their businesses, to help them create content, to support them. We have staff that will support them in not only recording, but editing and modifying a lot of the content. As you said, social media these days plays a major role in the way everything operates. So whether it's to promote things on social media or on the website, so Studio Venture is there for you to use. And it is a very good, the prices aren't expensive, especially for non-for-profit organisations. To have a state-of-the-art professional studio to support your local business or non-for-profit organisation. So it's for people to use.
Definitely seeing that elevate a lot of businesses in the area in terms of marketing, making that quality available to others.
It is very high quality. It's a high quality studio. I've done a lot of recordings there myself for council. One of the issues is a lot of people don't know about it. We encourage people to use it. We've created that for local businesses, for non-for-profit organisations, for the local community, to support them on whatever journey they are taking. So please use that studio venture.
Let's segue into the next question. We spoke about it before. What is your view on supporting more local e-commerce startups or founders in Sydney's West, particularly in Canterbury Bankstown? We hear a lot about making these e-commerce startups available to global and digital marketplaces, different markets.
Yeah.
What's your view on supporting these businesses?
Oh, absolutely. Look, Canterbury Bankstown is the gate to the west of Western Sydney. Canterbury Bankstown, we have almost just under 400,000 people residing in Canterbury Bankstown, coming from many different cultures and faith. So we pride ourselves on our multiculturalism, multi-faith. We come from more than 150 different countries that speak more than 150 different languages. So our strength is our multicultural, multi-faith communities. And I say this all the time, we might be a little bit different in terms of our culture, but this is modern Australia. So in terms of businesses, even our businesses, whether it's food related, whether it's, clothing, whether it might be, whatever it might be related to. Our job is to support and encourage people, to start up their own businesses so they can, showcase what they have to the rest of New South Wales, the rest of Sydney, and the rest of the country. Yeah.
Thank you, Bilal. We've spoken a lot about founders.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look at influencers.
Yeah.
Canterbury Bankstown is the home of a lot of the earliest and fastest growing influencers. Any advice for these influencers looking to jump into more creative or commercial ventures?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, before I get into the advice, I'm going to give them one piece of advice is that, separate to the question, is that young people are looking at you as when you become an influencer, when you start to have thousands and thousands of followers. I don't know that I should say that, but I am anyway. Just every word you say is important with young people. So please, all the younger influencers out there, you don't talk only for you anymore. You talk to generations of young people that look up to you. So everything you do, everything you say, every action you make, they look at you as their role model. But in terms of their businesses, networking, working together, even when we hold events at Canterbury Bankstown, and I know that the Bankstown Bite's coming up next week, we invite all the influencers into Canterbury Bank to the event so they can promote our event as well. But in terms of starting their own businesses, it is important that you do. Again, it's a different type of business, but by all means, it's important. And people can no longer do without influencers, and people can no longer do without social media.
For sure. I think influencers have been integrated in the way we do work and marketing. So
right.
Words of wisdom, Bilal. Definitely can see the youth work coming through.
Yeah.
And from such a young leader as well, I'm sure your words will be taken on honestly and with motivation.
Thank you.
Let's get you out of the policy-related discussion back into the hot seat. So I think we took that question on notice.
Oh,
A passion. You have to answer now.
A passion that people don't know. That's a tricky bit, right?
Share something then that we might know. That's minus the martial arts.
As I said, communities I'm very passionate about. Today, later after this, I'm going to juvenile justice to talk to young people about, their journeys and so on and so forth. I
definitely can see it. Look, I'm gonna maybe revisit that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some more out of you in the rapid fire section. So let's jump into the rapid fire section. 5 questions.
Mm-hmm.
First thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
First thing, what is your favorite movie and why?
Ooh, Man on Fire.
Why?
That's an old movie.
What is that?
It's just about saving someone's life, right? And we believe if you save someone's life, as if you saved all of humanity, right? So I liked it. Denzel Washington, you should watch it.
Okay, very nice. Now, favorite song?
Arabic or English?
Both.
Arabic.
Let's do Arabic.
I'm gonna go with Arabic. I love all the older songs, but I love all the songs that talk specifically about Lebanon.
Interesting. Okay, we might come back to that. Maybe the next council meeting we can actually get that written somewhere.
I just say I'm hopeless at singing, so I won't have a go.
Karaoke maybe. Okay, now favourite meal. This one would be a hard one.
What I know.
See, that's classic Lebanese response. Right. I think we had Martin Zeta on here before that said something very similar. I didn't say wara anib. I think he said kabnaya.
Kabnaya is good too, but wara anib.
Okay, describe wara anib then to someone that...
Well, wara anib is vine leaves got stuffed with rice and meat. Cooked in a big tanjara.
For sure, original
it's
from Lebanon style.
It is the OG. You can't go past a good Lebanese barbecue too.
Okay.
But like wara anib is like The one.
The one, okay. Your favourite cafe or restaurant? It could be in Sydney or anywhere in the world.
Oh, jeez. You're going to get me in trouble.
You can make it not in the Canterbury Bankstown.
I want to make it not in the Canterbury Bankstown.
That's exactly what Martin did.
I want to make it
Kept
overseas.
it diplomatic. Okay, go for that.
I want to make it overseas so I don't upset anyone. Fusion in Dubai.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What about it exactly?
So they do all the different food from across the world, but they mix it with other countries or they mix it with other flavors. So, if you're talking about, cabernet, it's maybe cabernet made with fish.
Interesting. So the fusion, hence the name.
Correct, fusion.
Okay, now the last book you read.
Oh, God. I read every single week. I read my council.
Yes, in a book, although sometimes...
The boring council book. It's about 200-300 pages. Depends on how many decisions we make.
Put you out there.
Yeah.
The last book you've read can't be a council meeting.
Can't be a council meeting. It's. I reckon. I remember reading To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay, fine. Let's go with that one. Let's go with that one. See the busy life of a mayor.
That's right.
Okay, thank you, Bilal. Now, before we go into your personal advice to viewers or your personal mantra for them, any last shares? Passion, talent, you think you've covered it all?
Oh, look, when I get the chance, I like to go fishing.
There we go.
With the kids and obviously my family. Family is the most important thing to me in life. So just...
I got there in the end.
You did.
Thank you.
Family is the most important thing in my life. And, in terms of politics, it's a brutal business.
You need that balance. Thank you so much, Bilal, for joining us today. Before we kick off, I'd like you to share your personal mantra with our viewers, something that you hold close to your heart that you'd like them to know.
Yeah, look, I highly encourage people to give back to the local community, and get involved in our local sporting clubs, our many wonderful organisations that we have here in Canterbury Bankstown. Giving back to our young people, to our old people, whether it's in a local business, whether it's a local charity. This is what makes us who we are. And we saw during COVID, it was Canterbury Bankstown that worked their guts out, the people of Canterbury Bankstown, to look after one another. We saw it during the bushfires. It was Canterbury Bankstown that went up to bushfire-affected areas and helped our fellow Australians. And we saw that during the drought, and we see that all the time. And I say this all the time, we might not be the richest community in the country in terms of wealth, but we're definitely a very generous community.
That's lovely to know, and again, can attest to that. Thank you, Bilal, for joining us today on another episode of Beyond Politics with Shay. You've given us a real insight into who you are, where you've come from, and what you'd like to leave as part of your legacy for the local area. Now, Bilal, can you share with us the best way to contact you after the show? Sure.
Just reach out to the office, or if you'd like to send an email, it's mayor@cbcity.newsouthwales.gov.au. That's mayor@cbcity.newsouthwales.gov.au.